Good morning, Saturday the 17th of October 2020. Pastor Ron Jetter, Immanuel Lutheran Church, Grandview, Washington. A calm Saturday morning after a windy Friday afternoon. We've getting these winds about once a week, it seems like, and boy, they just really mess things up. Yeah, not fun to be in, not fun to drive in. The air fills with dust. By the way, I'm wearing pink. Give a shout out to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, October. Every year at hospice, I would order a shirt for every staff member, and I've got probably 7 or 8 of them in various stages of wear. This one was for our pediatric palliative care program, but pink was one of the colors we always offered so that people would have a shirt, basically a uniform that all 47 of us could wear during the month of October. And I thought, well, I really should be bringing it out and remembering. To all of us who have had friends and family members who have either survived or in some cases not survived breast cancer, we want to remember that the battle goes on. We are still hoping. There's so many needs. Treatment, research, aftercare, and to keep people in our thoughts and prayers, including all the researchers who are doing painstakingly slow but gradual progressive work that hopefully is getting results. Survivability is going up. That's a good thing. Moses asks God, "Who do I tell the people that you are? I need a name." And God said, "Tell them I am has sent them to you." Okay? Moses doesn't argue with God. He doesn't say, send somebody else. He will later on argue with God and grumble a lot. But right now, he's simply listening. Remember the words couldy, wouldy, diddy. Could God, would God, did God. What can God do? What will God do? What is the power of God? What is the intent of God? God's going to lay that out now, still in chapter 3, beginning with verse 16 of the book of Exodus. Moses is about to get the game plan. He doesn't have to go into Egypt and trust that God is going to reveal it to him little by little. God's going to say, here's the 30,000-foot view. Here's the big picture. Go and assemble the elders of Israel and say to them, "The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob has appeared to me, saying, I have given heed to you and to what has been done to you in Egypt. I declare I will bring you up out of the misery of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites and all the other tribes, the land of milk and honey. There are bees, which means orchards, crops, and goats, sheep, milk from animals. They will listen to your voice, and you and the elders of Israel shall go to the king of Egypt and say, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with him. Let us now go a 3-day journey into the wilderness so that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God." Well, it's quite a thing. Moses, go up to the Pharaoh and say, all of us Hebrews are going to leave. We're going to go away 3 days. We're going to take a 3-day weekend. Yeah, a slave? What's a weekend? What's a day off? Anyway, we're going to take a weekend and go and sacrifice to the Lord. Then they'll come back, right? Yeah, well, verse 19, "I know, however, that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless compelled by a mighty hand. So I will stretch out my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders that I will perform in it. After that, he will let you go." Okay, so Moses knows God intends to do some things that are going to leave no doubt in the minds of the Egyptians and of the Hebrews, so that the Egyptians want the Hebrews gone out of there. And the Hebrews are ready to follow Moses and to believe again that God has their back. God has a planned future for this people. But he goes on. I will bring this people into such favor with the Egyptians that when you go, you will not go empty-handed. Each woman shall ask her neighbor and any woman living in the neighbor's house for jewelry of silver and of gold and clothing. Okay, that is, the Hebrew women, the Israelite women will ask the Egyptian women, would you mind giving me those gold and silver and pearls? Oh, and the diamonds, the rubies. I love those. Oh, and emeralds. Who wouldn't want sapphires? Sure, give me your friend's sapphires too. You shall put them on your sons. Okay. Okay, son, you want some pearl earrings? And on your daughters, and so you shall plunder the Egyptians. This is the point at which Moses has got to be thinking, okay, I get that you're gonna create some kind of havoc there so that they'll want us to leave. But for us, before we leave, to say, by the way, can we take all of your collectibles, your jewelry and your coins, things like that? Wow. Tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, at worship, I'm going to show off a coin of mine, one of my prized possessions. So be sure and join us at worship at 10 a.m. tomorrow and see my special coin. And I'll tell you what makes it special and what makes it special to me. Anyway, back to the story here. So here's Moses thinking, okay, how many years went by between the time when he had fled? Well, we know that it's at least a generation. The older Pharaoh who had declared Moses' life forfeit is gone, he's died, his life is over. And his son is now ruling in his place, so 20, 30, some odd years. So now here's Moses' answer to God. Chapter 4. And by the way, these chapters were not in there originally. The scribes did not put chapters, verses, or headings. And the heading here is Moses' miraculous power. Really? I thought it was God's miraculous power. But somebody decided they need to put Moses' answer in a new chapter, even though it's the same conversation up there on the mountain with the burning bush. Moses answered, but suppose they do not believe me or listen to me. Really? I can't imagine why they wouldn't just say, well, of course, God does that stuff all the time. Or say, the Lord did not appear to you. The Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? Moses said, a staff. He had a walking stick. He said, throw it on the ground. So Moses threw it on the staff on the ground, and it became a snake. Moses drew back from it. And the Lord said to Moses, reach out your hand and seize it by the tail. So he reached out his hand and grasped it, and it became a staff in his hand. And God goes on, so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has appeared to you. So a parlor trick. All right, maybe that would get a few people, but the hundreds of thousands that they have become over those 4 centuries. Verse 6, again the Lord said to him, put your hand inside your cloak. Like Napoleon? He put his hand into his cloak, and when he took it out, his hand was leprous, as white as snow. He probably reeled back from it. God said, put your hand back into your cloak. So Moses put his hand back in his cloak. He took it out, and it was restored like the rest of his body. If they will not believe you or heed the first sign, they may believe the second sign. If they will not believe even these 2 signs or heed you, you shall take some water from the Nile and pour it on dry ground. And the water that you shall take from the Nile will become blood on the dry ground. Okay? So there's three things. The staff becoming a snake, the hand becoming leprous and then turning normal again, and then taking water from the Nile and creating blood on the ground with it. Still, this is the age of mages and alchemists, so we can anticipate what will happen, that somehow these won't be enough. And Moses knows it. He continues to want more from God. Moses said to the Lord, "Oh my God, I've never been eloquent, neither in the past nor even now that you have spoken to your servant. I'm slow of speech and slow of tongue." The Lord said to him, "Who gives speech to mortals? Who makes them mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord?" This is a troublesome statement, because think of what that is actually saying. Why are people disabled? Because the hand of God has touched them. The will of God has chosen to punish certain people and to not punish everyone else. Do we really believe that? Is that true in every case? Or is it simply God saying here, I'm the one who can make you eloquent? Did God make me left-handed? Did God make someone shorter than me or taller than me? I don't know how far we really want to take that concept. Who makes them mute or deaf or seeing or blind? And what does Jesus do with these kind of things when he meets the person who was blind from birth or the one who was deaf? Food for thought. We'll continue this conversation Monday. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. adult class and 10 a.m. Worship with communion. And I will be at the church.